Junkin' Fool over here in Porterville too. How's everybody doing? Well, we got the Mercedes 220 engine out. She's a little oily. Some of that come from the power steering, and a lot of it was there. And it looks to me like the valve cover gasket's leaking pretty bad. I'll have to replace that. Yeah, the plan is to find something else to put this engine in. Gonna get it running, get the bugs worked out of it. Now I can get to the injector pump. And I suspect this thing here, the plunger, this is how you prime up the fuel pump. I think that's bad. When you go to plunge it, fuel pours all the way around there. And I think it's probably sucking air. And it makes them really hard to start. Now this is the on and off. I think in the middle there is run. Forward would be off, which that feels like that might be out of whack. And then backwards, I don't know exactly what that means, because it would run right there. It would fire right there, but it didn't start. You push it forward, it shut off. So anyway, it's out of there. Gonna pull the transmission out yet. Gonna planning on using that. Maybe the dry shaft. Probably a lot of the exhaust. Got the exhaust unhooked. Had to cut 2 of the bolts. Had to heat quite a few bolts. Probably use some of the motor mounts. Thinking about taking it to the car wash. I gotta let it down. I got that one hooked, and it's going through aluminum. I don't really trust it. It's got quite a few threads in there, but this one I got hooked down here to the block right there. I wanted to pull the tranny out because I want to look at the clutch and everything and see how all that looks before I put it back together. A lot of Allen head screws on this. The starter was held on with Allen head screws. Then there's one bracket that kept it attached to the block. So I'm about done for today. I think maybe I'll go down and power wash it. I went down there and looked. I didn't see any signs or anything saying you couldn't do that down there. It's got a really strange looking oil pan. It goes off to one side more than the other. And I'm going to try to use the power steering pump. Most everything on here, except for the alternator, I'll put a one-wire GM alternator on whatever it goes in. Assuming I can get all the bugs worked out and get it running good. The throttle, part of the throttle. Yeah, this here's all part of the throttle. I'm going to pull all that off. Not sure what I'm going to need and what I ain't. Do a little measuring. The ground wire, I'm going to keep that ground wire and try to use it. The exhaust seems to be fairly solid. I'll probably cut some of that. I'm going to get back under there. I just want to get the motor out. Another day I'll get the transmission and everything I want out of there. Got a pretty good looking hood. got a few good parts, but got it on the computer. The rest of it for sale. I got one guy that might be interested. He's got one. He's looking to put disc brakes all the way around. This got disc brakes all the way around. He wanted to make sure they'd fit, and I'm not sure if he's going to want it or not, but what's left of it. So yeah, I'll get the motor cleaned up. Make room for it in the garage here. I'll get the transmission out, and if he wants to buy the whatever I don't pick off of it, he can. I gotta clean this mess up here too. That's from the Corvair there. Corvair there. Well, that was the project for today, and it took a little while. We actually sold some ramps today we've had for sale. I showed them in a video before. I was gonna make like a car lift type thing, or put them on my, make a trailer or some wedged tow truck. I was gonna use them, but just change of plans. We put them on there and made a few bucks out of them, so we decided to sell them. So I got the, I guess it's the intercooler that's hooked right to the radiator for this. Right here. Let's see if I can reuse all that and get it cleaned up. That's supposed to be soldered out. I'm not sure about the radiator. I think it's leaking. But I can hook this to pretty much anything. Do a little fabricating. When I make it that far, I don't even know what's going in yet. That's what you call getting the cart before the horse. Speaking of horse, I think this is around 70 horsepower. So it ain't gonna go very fast. And it is a 4-speed. Right now it's a 4-speed on the column, but it would be a 4-speed on the floor, whatever I put it in. I'm thinking maybe a S10 eventually, and finding one that's already a stick shift, and an older one, hopefully, I don't know, something that doesn't have anti-lock brakes and all that good stuff. Anyway, hey, thanks for stopping by Porterville 2. I gotta go and wash my hands up. Let me pull that starter off before I go down and wash it. Get cleaned up and packed up and get to another project. Thanks for stopping. Goodbye now.